I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. Now just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach. Hug him up.
He's breathing. I think it's on the other side.
Go.
I can't do it.
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky.
Hey, get the stick.
Hey, did you get the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, it's no worries. I got it.
What exactly is plant-based jerky? Call me a meathead, but when I want a meat snack, I want real meat. 100% pure protein-packed power in a stick. I want Wenzel's Farm. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life. What exactly is a meat substitute or plant-based jerky? Call me a meathead, but when I want a meat snack, I want real meat. The kind you find at Wenzel's Farm and the only kind they use. Handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked right here in the heartland of America. Wenzel's Farm offers 14 flavors of mouth-watering protein-packed power in a stick, except no substitute. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life. Looking for something to power your day? Then look no further than Wenzel's Farm Snack Sticks. Handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked, these protein-packed power sticks deliver truly sustainable energy. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life. You work hard and play hard. You need real fuel to power your day. Not some tofu stuffed rice cake or plant-based meat substitute. No, you need honest-to-goodness, homegrown, protein-packed power in a stick. You need Wenzel's Farm. Quality cuts of meat handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked for a great-tasting snack that delivers real energy. Power up and put the smack down on whatever your day brings with Wenzel's Farm. Real meat for real life.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days
Is a
ago.
dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah, there's something in there.
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it.
And we're back. I'm still Irish. Goose is still here, and he is still hungry, still trying to eat my face cam.
Yeah, I am real hungry. And I'm hungry for more. After that very first map, it was a 7-3 victory. Now going over to Nighthaven Labs. Radford, overall very difficult. Only getting 2 rounds and then doing a little bit worse, getting only 1 round on their defense. And I think it is a situation where, because that was their map pick and they did not want to play aggressive whatsoever, and they were more than definitely the passive team, now transferring over to Labs. Obviously, it is a much bigger map. You'll be able to get away with it more. But again, it's a situation where if you can't play aggressive, if you can't punish specifically the attack as a defending team for getting too aggressive in that early round, then they're just going to run all over you.
Yeah, that's a pretty brutal map pick for Rutgers. For Nova though, or oh my gosh, Radford. Gosh, I cannot read. Nova still starting on the defense though, and on the last map, it can be seen as a slight negative because Porter does tend to lean attack inside it. But on this map, it is decidedly defensive favored. It's going to be a little bit of an issue for Radford starting on the side just after getting clobbered on that first map, trying to build back a little bit of momentum in the face of a defensive side that really should have their lay of the land.
Yeah, and I think the main thing for me that is worrying is that Radford had a difficult time on their attack just traversing the map and then getting enough useful map control to then back up their execution. And now going on a Nighthaven Labs that is essentially 1.5 times bigger than Border, that is going to be a problem that is amplified by 10. And I think Nova is going to really punish them for that. It also will simply come down to, in my opinion, I think getting these walls open. I fear that might be a problem for it's going to be a situation they can't whatsoever, where it is really going to be a time waster. And if they don't watch that clock, they're going to force themselves into an execution, info or map control, but also with no time to really either.
Pug, Maxis, and yeah, both leaving the game. Pug having a little bit of, oh no, both of them crashed. Cool.
Oh boy.
That's hopefully these types of things don't happen in Siege X. I'm really looking forward to a perfectly smooth game where no technical issues ever happen. We do make it through the ban phase though. Even with the technical issues and even with people disconnecting, there's enough of a team still left to, have a quorum, have some democratic elections still take place.
Multi-billion-dollar? No, it's a small like crowd fund company. Come on, guys, get it right. But again, I think specifically that Tuberau ban from Radford really we've been given
Euros?
1.6
Disgusting.
billion euro, like half of that in US currency, I'm pretty sure.
That's like $3.
Raw American.
No?
92%. Okay, we're being fed information. But again,
we're being fed a math equation.
don't do math. Don't do math on stream, especially if you're dyslexic. I know that. But again, that Tuberau ban really does tell me that Radford struggles with getting that wall open. Obviously, Tuberau is an operator that's very potent for any team, but especially on Nighthaven Labs. But I think them going out of their way to ban it over than maybe a potentially a roamer or an additional defender really goes to show that they are at least expecting to have some trouble, and they just get that power operator all out of the way.
Everyone's having technical issues as Pug is having a little bit more difficulty getting back into the game. We're going to have a little bit of a rehost. Maybe we'll have a little bit of time for Goose to work out his internet issues as well as we toss to a quick break.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. You just can't. What do you mean you can't?
Just let go.
Wait, do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. Now just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach. Hug him up.
He's breathing. On the other side.
Go.
I can't.
Just-
I can't do it. Help!
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Hey, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah.
Hey, did you get the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, that's no worries. I got it.
What exactly is plant-based jerky? Call me a meathead, but when I want a meat snack, I want real meat. 100% pure protein-packed power in a stick. I want Wenzel's Farm. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life. What exactly is a meat substitute or plant-based jerky? Call me a meathead, but when I want a meat snack, I want real meat. The kind you find at Wenzel's Farm and the only kind they use. Handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked right here in the heartland of America. Wenzel's Farm offers 14 flavors of mouth-watering protein-packed power in a stick, except no substitute. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life. Looking for something to power your day? Then look no further than Wenzel's Farm Snack Sticks. Handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked, these protein-packed power sticks deliver truly sustainable energy. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life. You work hard and play hard. You need real fuel to power your day. Not some tofu stuffed rice cake or plant-based meat substitute. No, you need honest-to-goodness, homegrown, protein-packed power in a stick. You need Wenzel's Farm. Quality cuts of meat handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked for a great-tasting snack that delivers real energy. Power up and put the smack down on whatever your day brings with Wenzel's Farm. Real meat for real life.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days
Is a
ago.
dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
Hell with that.
Oh! Ah, yeah. There's something in there. Ah!
Come on, Lynn.
Thank you.
It was worth it.
Oh, man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey, man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh, God. No. Come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
And we're back! Radford versus Nova, finally, our technical issues have solved themselves, at least for right now, knocking on wood. We're back into the 5 versus 5. Social has immediately left the game. Yeah, I didn't knock.
That sounded like hollow wood. I was gonna say that wood sounded very hollow.
It's my desk. It is actual wood. It is a
Okay.
genuine desk.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I did it too slowly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh, we also didn't
Attackers
take
need
time
to locate and defuse
out.
bombs.
That's dope. We did. I'm assuming we're gonna play it out I'm kind of trying to feel things out. We're going back to cams. Do we play through? I think it's up to the players at this point. So I think we're just kind of
located by attackers.
Brutal.
maybe a rehost. You never
Brutal.
know. It is really brutal. Trying to figure out. We're going to break. We'll see you guys soon after our second rehost.
What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't put it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. Now just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach. Hug him up.
He's breathing. It's on the other side.
Go.
I can't.
Just-
I can't do it.
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Hey, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah.
Hey, did you get the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, that's no worries. I got it.
What exactly is plant-based jerky? Call me a meathead, but when I want a meat snack, I want real meat. 100% pure protein-packed power in a stick. I want Wenzel's Farm. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life. What exactly is a meat substitute or plant-based jerky? Call me a meathead, but when I want a meat snack, I want real meat. The kind you find at Wenzel's Farm and the only kind they use. Handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked right here in the heartland of America. Wenzel's Farm offers 14 flavors of mouth-watering protein-packed power in a stick, except no substitute. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life. Looking for something to power your day? Then look no further than Wenzel's Farm Snack Sticks. Handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked, these protein-packed power sticks deliver truly sustainable energy. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life. You work hard and play hard. You need real fuel to power your day. Not some tofu stuffed rice cake or plant-based meat substitute. No, you need honest-to-goodness, homegrown, protein-packed power in a stick. You need Wenzel's Farm. Quality cuts of meat handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked for a great-tasting snack that delivers real energy. Power up and put the smack down on whatever your day brings with Wenzel's Farm. Real meat for real life.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days
Is a
ago.
dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah. There's something in there. Ah!
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it.
Oh, man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey, man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it.
Careful.
Oh, God. No, come on, just reach. Just grab my hand. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is...
We're back. Once again, I was threatened by the admin to not knock on wood. Hopefully, this all goes well.
You might get threatened because calling him an admin.
I mean,
Are you
that's what he's doing, right?
I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say.
I feel
As
unsafe.
as of now, I feel safe. I feel fine. I have good going up. It's been about 10 to 15 minutes now, just getting into the round. Also take a bit of time to load it in. But one thing that I know through that end phase, shield ban, Blackbeard, Monty, Blitz, include him, Fuse, all on the board. Radford taking advantage of that, bringing both the Blackbeard and Blitz. While that's really good to have on the board, not exactly used to its full potential by Radford, and I am worried that that could become a crutch that has no real effect whatsoever.
I'm also worried because with Nova specifically choosing to not ban out any shields and starting on their defense, I think it's something that is very easily readable, especially especially off the fact that Radford had been using either a Blackbeard or a Monty in every single one of their attacks. Nova's gonna know this, so they could be doing something like putting a pre-placed C4 or just going for something like that below to pressure them. Yeah, they're already setting up vertical angles in the choke points for shields, kind of like baiting Radford into taking the space and then just killing them by knowing exactly what they're going to do. It is a conscious choice by Nova, and especially with the Maverick ban as well.
Trying to see if he's gonna get both off. No way. Okay, he's able to get at least one wing. Thank God for Pug that can get the refrag, but yet another isolated Blitz player allows for Watcher to lose his life, though. Mako very close behind is able to get that refrag, and they now have complete control to go for the defuse.
Already trades on trades on trades, but plant is going down and is now secured for Radford. Still one shield in their pocket as well to play this post plant, but a kill from Nova on Raptors and another from Yab. Yab does get down, but it's still a 1 versus 2, and Pugmax is forced to give away his position to hold this post plant. Repositioning back into IT, and Nova know exactly where he is. It's going to be really hard for him to close this out, and the defuse does come through for Nova. A quick take and a quick defuse after a very long pause, starting this map out with a bang.
The common theme of Radford pushing too far away from the rest of their team continues on. Not only did you lose your Blitz so early on because he tried to go for a very push into Raptors, but there's a zombie keep barrier, whether he wanted to through to kill that player, he was not getting to that point. And not only that, but he didn't have an additional player behind him, but there's a refrag on the other side. Because you are first pick to sneaky, just going for the definition of an over-aggressive swing on an IT breach, still found yourself in a mid that Nova did a really working. Whenever Nova the opening pick comes to on to win, something that to allow for them to do.
Watcher picking off of that Brava, unfortunately, because there's plenty of utility on that defensive side for him to be able to hack if he did. But now that operators are locked in, it seems like Radford are going more for a vertical play than trying to, you know, take the utility of the defense for themselves. With these Valkyrie cameras, as well as the Maestro cameras, there would have been plenty, again, for Radford to hack, get info for the flank for themselves, shut off the roamers on the mid floor, as well as stop Nova from playing off of those Maestro cameras. But in lieu of that, they're forced to take mid-floor, and they're already running directly into Nova with an opening pick for Moth.
That is difficult, not only because you get your main operator that is essentially just alone. Out of drone, knew exactly where he is, but because he didn't wait for his team, allows for Moth to get a triple. The problem that we've talked about built up from the last map has lingered on so much that Moth is taking capital off of it.
As well for Nova, they know exactly where this push is going to need to come from, and already have the bodies stacked up. And no Nova, but it's not going to matter as they hold the ground. Moth kills to reposition into that hallway as well. Kill for Social, evening it back out. But Moth on for a quad kill. He could get an ace here as Social looking to close it out, but it's an ace from Moth as Nova face stuff the attacking team and shut them out of this map. Already a timeout requested.
Usually I am a person who absolutely hates early timeouts, but in this situation, you have to. You gotta take it. You cannot just die to just one Moth. Usually I would make the comparison of a Moth kind of being attracted to a light, but apparently Moth was the light in the entirety of Radford were the Moths. It's a situation where if you just waited a couple of seconds for that player inside of Kitchen to just move his way up, 3 seconds is all you need. Not only do you get rid of that player, but you force your Maestro back down. You get that opening pick, and you don't lose the entirety of the round. And I think this is starting to be a mental problem where these players just cannot tell themselves to wait. We talked about how Radford had a droning problem, info gathering problem. The first map, they had a drone. They usually have 1 to 2 drones in front of this Blackbeard. The fact of just not allowing time for the rest of the attack to take their positions.
The problem was also it was a really one-dimensional push from Radford. They had the Bravo, which I thought was a really good choice, especially against the Valkyrie and the Maestro, but then they changed off of it and decided to go for a full vertical clear. And when that started to fall apart for their team, they really didn't adapt because they kind of couldn't. They didn't have enough utility. They didn't have enough operators built up to go for a different style of push, to maybe lurk down a different stair behind a shield, or to be able to just work main wall and go for a main plant. Their whole entire attack was based on clearing the roamers, pushing in with a shield, and then working the top floor vertical area. But then when they lost the shield, when they lost the area, and when they lost the operators, there was so little for them to swap back up. On this map, talk about lurking. Mako is swapped onto a Nook, which I think is going to be an odd choice for Radford, but they need to change something up, and this could possibly be the thing to change, especially once again against a Valkyrie.
I love this lurk. It's simply going to be up to the fact hard can opener. I'm sorry. You just sneaky to have full info position and then you misdrone him.
Misdrone.
Come on. I really hope that Mako has the individual capability to identify that there's potentially a play here, and if he doesn't, this is an freebie served up on a silver platter for Sneaky. Nonetheless, Watcher trying to do a lot of damage over by this IT wall, but it happened. Watcher, though, is able to pick back, able to get rid of shit, but you lost all of that surprise factor. But Pinged, though, is able to find Yab.
So 3 versus 3. And another pick back by Moth. He had a fantastic round last round, and he continues the dominance. Another pick onto Pug, giving his team an advantage. And also, off of that advantage, just able to drop back. Kuzo, the only player that's really pinned in a position upstairs. And he's going to be able to shoot a drone and fall back. Great play from them. They have 3 C4s between them. 2 dead teammates to be able to give comms, as well as Sneaky looking for info through the floor. It's just going to be fishing for kills once Radford drop onto the site tank. Minute and 20 for them to work vertical, though. Not a ton of Nova members for them to find.
Yeah, this is now the point of the round where Radford has that chance to just completely reset their attack, use this additional drone economy, even with the addition of those Brava drones, just find out a couple of these info. But the problem just comes down to Sneaky Willow. Even if they are able to get both Moth and Kudos, you still have to worry about the C4 below. And to my knowledge, Radford, it doesn't look like they had an idea that Sneaky is still.
Moth with another pick, double for him on the round, and he closes it out once again. Nova with a quick, oh, that's a gorgeous angle. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I haven't seen that. That's actually really nice. But Irish, you know what helps that? Having info, pre-firing that. And info continues to be a problem. It honestly is a whack-a-mole situation for Radford. Some rounds they don't have the utility to back up their pushes. In other rounds, when they have the utility, they don't have the info to back up their pushes. In that first initial round, the pulse on basement played a key role. Knock also in turn playing her own key role, but for the attack. The main factor of that round came down to one. Whether Knock was able to get that opening kill. If she was, not only was she able to continue to build up that surprise factor as you had no real info on her, but if you lost the situation that we just saw when she lost that opening pick, not only do you get that trade back, taking away the ability for Nova to go down into a man deficit, but then you also allow for Pulse's position with that C4 below the bomb site to have even more value the later into the round that he got.
Also, for the attack of Radford, instead of looking at the operator lineup, instead of droning out the defenders, and then going for an attacker lineup that perfectly counters it, they're just kind of going for preset ideas, bashing their head into the wall and looking to find something. The one idea that they have in this round to be able to break through the deadlock that Nova has been putting onto them are these Yings. But even still, choosing onto something like that, I don't think is going to stop the dominance that we've seen out of Nova.
It really just comes down, this is what I said on the last map, just the execution from Radford. They have phenomenal ideas. I really did love that Nook in the previous round, and I like this addition of the Ying, but it just comes down to whether or not they can successfully not only get the execution off, but time it right. And that's something that they've had problems throughout the entirety. And speaking of timing, Sneaky perfectly timing that thermite charge to not only get rid of it, but then continue to just have these bandit charges. Nobody playing below to try and get that vertical. You do have Pain, though, who is able to get the opening, though. Even through all of that, there is one positive to come out of it.
Even in a 50-50 with the one operator that you'd really expect to have a good chance of beating the Ying, Kuzo goes down. An opening pick for Radford. A C4 through the floor doesn't quite find the pick onto Pain, as he's just walking his way up into electrical. A few shots through the floor, and Nova really looking to pressure him, keep him back. Still a lot of good space taken from Radford. Finally, main breach is opened up, but a lot of pressure towards Yab, and timing not quite there for him, as a few shots go astray. With a minute left, Nova's looking for a C4 to be able to even this back out. It should be readable, but the C4 still goes over, but it doesn't find anything onto Pain. Minute left. Radford still in an advantage and still knocking on the door to site. These Yings are going to help them a lot in pressuring through those extended positions like Connector. And that's going to clear out the defensive members, pushing them a little bit closer to site, as Social also takes through IT. Pressure is mounting onto site, and a swing coming through from Nova. Not snapped up at all. Yeah, just takes that for free. Almost finds a second, but he's shut out by Mako. Another kill from Watcher. Things are going a little bit better for Radford as they find themselves in the driver's seat, still at a two-man advantage. Lots of damage taken by Moth, but in this pillar position, Sneaky's going to be so important. If he's not red, he needs to find not just one, but a second. He finds that first, goes for the second, isn't quite able to find it, but they're swinging on to him, and they quickly snap him up. Radford finally with an answer to Nova Esports 3 to start.
An overall round really showing how important getting that opening pick for Radford really is. Even if it took using a Ying to get that, you still got it. And we saw throughout the entirety of the rest of that round after Nova opening pick, it forced them into a position where they just had to get aggressive at every single engagement, and a lot of the times it forced them to get really aggressive in isolated positions. We've seen rounds previously where Raptors can get that opening pick where they have to make the first move. That is something that they don't feel comfortable with, that they struggle with. But when it's Radford who can build off map control, pushing back the defense, also using that attacking utility, but more importantly, just having Nova constantly in a man deficit rather than Radford puts them in a really safe position to win the round.
The map ban from Nova very early on in this matchup forces Radford, if they want to go for a main wall push, to go for something like an ace where you can just put one down on both walls and ensure that at least one of those Selmas does go off. For Radford, it seems like that's the play. And instead of going for a double hard breach where it would be super difficult and kind of having the main hard breach on main wall be that thermite that is very easily tricked out and something that we've seen from Sneaky, he's very good at tricking. Radford once again putting Mako on the Nook to be able to lurk into backside. Already some great breaches being able to be found because the Bandit is sitting on main breach and Animus gets open. Already an entrance for Radford and already pressure towards site as the Monty walks in. Animus taken very, very quickly. And these Goyos are going to stop them up for a little bit and are going to give info for Nova that, hey, we're here, we're walking on. But those defensive members, and especially Kuzo on this far roam, is going to be forced to drop back to site. So with this pressure mounting, it's going to be all or nothing for Nova's defense.
Problem is, though, especially with that cargo wall shut, enough time for these Goyo canisters to give info to Nova that there is a push that they're going to force to just funnel for this plant, making it relatively easy for Nova to shut it down, but not if you continue to give them isolated swings.
C4 does go out, but it doesn't find a pick. Moth elsewhere able to find the pick onto Mako. Great start for them as they even it back out, but Yings go out. And a plant is starting to be stuck by Radford. Oh, so close, and it finally hits the deck. Retake initiated by Nova, but with 40 seconds left, Radford start to sneak their way off of site. Sneaky does find a pick on a social, and a down onto Pain that's finally secured as Watcher goes down as well, and it just keeps getting worse. Plant is secured, but the retake is all but perfect for Nova. A fight from Pugmax. That's all they'll be able to find as Nova cleans it out in a very swift retake.
Another round where a lot of the successes from Radford came off of relatively easy takes. Getting that easy take onto that solo wall on the bomb site, but because it was so easy, they put themselves in such a default and one-dimensional position that it was very easy for Nova to read, especially being backed off of those canisters, not only delaying time for that plant to go down, but then giving the defense time to rotate back down to the bomb site, set up their crossfire, and then because that plant was so one-dimensional, there was no map control, there was no vertical, there was no presence to clear that roam on the top two floors. All Nova really had to do was aim down site, identify where they were, and then just flood that position. It is another example where, sure, the early round was good, but it was only good because it was a very simple and one-dimensional take, and we've seen what happened when these overall plants are made paper thin.
Still Nova playing for the entirety of the map. 2 players on Nova on the top floor second, 2 players on the mid floor, and Sneaky once again on that basement with a pulse. Time after time, we've seen this actual just spreading super thin for Nova work out really well for them, specifically in the last time that they played this site. Radford went for a lurk, and it really didn't work out because a missed drone led to an opening pick for Nova, and it just kept getting worse. Now for Radford, they're not going for the lurks. They're not going for something like a Nook. They're actually they're all in the exact same spot on north side, just maybe looking to funnel in directly behind the blitz.
Radford has it. They just simple takes. See that Kino is essentially alone, and they are able to get him. But again, this allows for to just take back down to the bomb site, and just like that, it's a 2v4.
It's still happening. Radford able to battle back though. Painted Shoe getting 2 very important picks, and Kuzo very low HP still. 2 C4s on the board for them. With Radford having complete control of site, it's going to be difficult for them to fight back. Painted Shoe finds a pick onto Kuzo. And now Yab at top floor is the last alive. With those shots to the floor, info is going to be given away for Radford. This retake is going to be incredibly difficult because not only is it just a 1 versus 2, but they also have a crossfire and also know exactly where he's going to be swinging from. First pick is going to need to be found. Shadow on the floor. He knows exactly where he is, but to take one fight, he has to swing into the other. What? Cover doesn't come in from Pug at all. Nova finding the pick, finding their way back onto site, tapping the diffuser twice, baits Pug into a swing, but he still isn't able to win the 1 versus 2 as Pug closes it out after a near miss.
You could really tell those last 2 rounds were kind of in a mind space where, like, we just have to go for these really quick floods onto the bomb site and just hope it's able to hit. And to be fair, that kind of was probably the best option for them. Going back to before we had those 2 pauses, how traversing, getting the map control to set up an execution and then allow for a relatively healthy post-plan situation was a problem for them. And then moving to a map like Nighthaven Labs that was really big, that prediction turned a fortune. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw 1 round with able to pick, translate that, building up off of that utility, the defenders back in the bomb site. That was 1 good round that was good for them. Other round, simply just base off of hit quickly, Nova not expecting it, and it gets them the bare minimum. 2-4 half on attack is relatively what you would expect. It was very difficult to get to that point. Radford still was able to find themselves here.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Now, yeah, Radford on the defense. You talked about this is the scoreline that they would really want to get to, and especially salvaging after a 3-0 start for Nova, a respectable half. A really good battle back from them. We talked about them taking the timeout very early, but that might have been exactly what they needed. Again, on this defense, they're not playing passively. They're not playing inside and letting Nova take space. Painted Shoe specifically was looking for that opening pick, looking for a spawn peek, and even though it doesn't quite work out, the aggression coming out for Radford is going to slow Nova down just a little bit, and especially without a ton of operators like a Dokkaebi, like a Deimos that's banned out, or like a Jackal. Space is going to come very slowly for them, and it's not going to come uncontested as Painted Shoe stays aggressive and takes down Kuzo to start.
I talked about how those individual players going just in that end department was huge for Nova. And this round, Painted Shoe
A bomb has been located.
I 100% agree. Nova storming through the top part of the map. The call is going out. A lot of info for them, as actually they do have a Dokkaebi. My eyes did deceive me. I know that Radford have dropped back to site, still in basement. We hear a few whispers from Gooth. Horrible at a time. Nova storming through the midsection of the map. They have complete.
You see that
pressure as well. Sneaky just walking directly into his drone, taking a little bit of damage. With the IQ, they're actually able to spot out a lot of these cams. Novus, on their defense, used the Valkyrie to great effect, but they're countering it out very well on their attacking on their attacking rounds. 50 seconds left. Yes, they're making good work. Yes, they're working this vertical very well, but time is starting to tick down. At a certain point, you need to decide which hatch or which staircase they're going to go down to actually make this final push happen. Watcher taking so much damage on site, almost found. Pug taking a lot of damage as well. Yab finally being able to find the pick onto Watcher. He's forced onto KM duty as Yab finds another onto Pug Max. Both of those secured for Nova, and with 25 seconds left, they're actually in a very, very good spot to transition this into a site take. 17 seconds left. Painted Shoe and Social fighting back on site. Painted Shoe finds yet another, a great shot from him. It evens it back out just a little bit, but Nova encircling, still able to find the round and continue their dominance. 5 rounds for them on the board versus 2 for Rutgers. Radford. We're Radford. Second time I've done that.
Cool. Says, you know, if it is, that is valid. But I think it is really just difficult to watch this Radford team because they have such great ideas. They have great executions. They got that opening entry. And in theory, especially off of that very first round one on attack, it should have been good. But the sheer ability for Nova to just adapt, to that work off of that man deficit and just have a mind initial roamer still just overplaying his position, allowing 3 Nova players to then take positions to cross. It's not like they were there ready for immediately to get that. It took time for them to that position. Now, a brand new problem that we didn't see on the very first map on their defense is Radford just moving way too slow on these rotations.
Nova swapping off the IQ. Even though they used it very well the last round, it seems like they're looking to counter out the Azami. That's the main issue that they see of this defense. Even with the Fenrir mines and the Valkyrie cameras, it seems like they're putting a lot more priority on clearing those Kibas and clearing out Rafters as well, because they've swapped onto the Flores, which is a great counter to the setup that we see out of Mako right here on Rafters. It's a power position for the defenders, and it's a very good position for them to isolate, to make it difficult for Nova to take. But with that operator, hopefully, we can cleave directly through it.
I really love just the sheer patience from Nova to just sit and wait. Even if Sneaky wasn't able to find that initial pick, he had the patience to sit there and wait. Now, because of that, they start to rotate, send in the drones, and try and figure out exactly what this bomb site's looking at. You can see that they have that Blackbeard as the spearhead looking water position, but a lot of defender utility they haven't cleared out yet, and because of that, they can't immediately hit that go button just yet.
No impact EMPs or anything else in their pockets to be able to clear out those corners. Mako finding a pick onto Sneaky. Even though Moth is able to trade, Rafters is still held down. With that pick, Nova gets a lot of space. They clear out Mako. They take that position very well as well. Social taking a little bit of damage as well, and Watcher at very, very low HP on the defensive side. It looks like a great start for Nova until Pug finds a pick onto Moth. Pressuring in towards lower garage, and another found by him. Yab falls as well. And the one position that they took, the very important position that it seemed like the entirety of their attack was based around, is now the only thing that Nova have to show for this attack. Stalled. On the rotate, Radford holding everything down. Social finding a pick onto Kuzo. And Kiko, the last alive for Nova. Seems like there's not really all that much to do here, but wait out for another round and another chance against Radford.
Overall, from Radford, just stay in the ground. They don't need to in a round win, and that is important. This is a round where they just cheese their way, easy opportunities. Radford, or not Radford, but Nova played way too aggressive, gave them easy isolated gunfights. It is a round where Radford simply was the better team. In previous rounds, not only on this map, but going back to Border, we can't really, and if it is a system, if it's a thing that continues to go on, then I'm very excited. But at the same time, the exact same thing I said all the way on Border, Nova is a really good team at adapting. Compared to Radford, they are very slow to find answers. Even with such a successful round just like that, it was still relatively default, and to an extent, still a lot of mistakes made by Nova that allowed for Radford to stay their ground.
Good info for Nova to start off this round. Once again, they've picked onto the Dokkaebi, and a lot of vertical operators to use. A Ram and a Buck, bringing in a little bit of redundancy. And when when casters talk about redundancy, it's not a negative, it's actually a positive, because it's one of those things where if a defense goes for a spawn peek, painted shoe specifically, say that there's only one vertical operator, like right now, Sneaky hops back onto the Ying. If he finds Kuzo, then that's almost all of your vertical pressure right off the board and not really all that much to use. So redundancy, like breach charges in the pocket of Kiko, is actually really good because if you lose one, you still have that ability. Now for Nova, the swap does come in and that redundancy does get taken down just a little bit, but I honestly think it's a great change for them. Because with the Yings that they've been able to use quite effectively to take space, and with all of this info to be able to, shoot the Fenrir mines, shoot the Valkyrie cameras in the IQ, taking space with those Dokkaebi calls, then when they finally get to site with the vertical pressure that they've gotten for themselves, they'll be able to break through those anchor positions on close to site with Yings. Just all of this attack is based around every single step of the round.
Yeah, and I think it's also a really good example of how Nova doesn't bring blanket ops to solve a problem. They bring specific operators that counter exactly what Radford is doing, instead of bringing both a Dokkaebi and a Jackal to simply, we have info, that should work. That's something that didn't directly counter. IQ, as before, counters a lot. Almost actually every operator, essentially, in this round is countered by that IQ to a certain extent. Mako playing in a very overzealous position, a crossfire being held by that single window, but that opportunity is missed. One of those picks, and now half of the round is gone. Haven't cleared out this initial row. Is going to take pretty much 90% of his health, but that's going to send him back downstairs. But again, it's a situation where you've done all of this, but you haven't really gotten anything out of it. And Radford, they've wasted quite a bit of time.
Talos getting hit down to 1 HP, but Colossus is still at 100 as he teleports to his other shell and gains complete HP. Social does take a little bit for himself though, but at this point Nova starting to work that vertical as well. We talked about the fact that they had info, they had the ability to pressure out Radford. They effectively did that in the first 2 minutes, and at this point now they're starting to use their operators like the Buck. They're starting to walk towards site with Sneaky walking down those warehouse stairs, and pressure comes in for Pug as well on site. His damage just continues to mount for this Nova attack, and a retake. Looked for Painted Shoe. He's just walking up those cargo stairs looking for a fight back, but Nova dropping onto site, and 2 picks for them. Yab and Kuzo finding Pug, finding Painted Shoe, walking up warehouse, and Social also getting cut off. Plant goes down and a call goes out. Info perfectly for Nova, and we could see a flawless round on their attack as things just keep getting worse, but Watcher does find Yab. Maybe an impactless kill as it's still a 1 versus 4, and at 30 seconds left he has to find 4 kills, start the defuse and close it out, and that's just completely impossible, especially when Moth finds a lurk on you.
A phenomenal example from Nova on their capability to read their opponents. That first minute 30 to 2 minutes around was pretty much a nothing burger. You just had Nova stalling out, just waiting for those defenders to walk at their cross lines, and then it didn't happen. But then going to that execution, Radford trying to read and deny a take over by cargo stairs and animus stairs. Problem with that is there's nobody there. They were fighting nobody but Casper the Ghost, and
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
perfectly read into this, understanding that any of those defenders were away from inside of tube for that default plant with no pushback, and then Nova just setting up crossfires and then killing for players rotating back down to the bomb site.
Who's your ISP? I just want to know who to never get internet from.
18.
Oh, that's what I have.
Yeah.
10 seconds to insertion.
I don't know. I think I'm cursed. I don't know who I'm cursed by, but I know I have a curse.
Who did you piss off? Did you like
I think I pissed off.
Make a random witch angry?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I said something bad and Mr. AT&T got mad at me, so I have to write them an apology letter. This was, I mean, nothing but witchcraft is going to fix my problem.
Maybe Radford need a little bit of that witchcraft as well as they sit once again, not at match point, but also at series point. They could go 7-3 for 7-3 on both maps, but they're on the defense of Lab, so things are looking a little bit better for them, as they at least have that advantage, but they're forced onto first floor. That cargo, that cargo side first floor. Nova looking to pressure out Raptors as well. A few shots go into those Kibas, and pressure is mounting, but still, Nova are kept at arm's length, and Radford's defense holds strong as they get the opening pick onto Kiko.
Again, another opening pick with a lot of utility in that pocket now gone. No additional hard breach, so that capability is off the board. But still, a majority of this focus so far is just clear Watcher from his Raptors position. With all these Akiba barriers, doesn't matter because they just walk right into the bomb site.
Watcher does find a pick back onto Yab, but immediately traded out. Effectively a 2 versus 2, but a C4 through the floor makes it just, I mean, actually a 2 versus 2 as Moth still downed. Makes it a little bit more difficult for Nova on their attack. Yeah, they didn't really need to worry about that C4 as the player was killed. But now, as Moth gets rezzed back up to very low HP, just 20 health for himself, Nova are forced to scramble, and at a minute left, they need to band together, find a place to drop, and find maybe a kill back, because that's what they're looking for instead. Instead of going for broke, they still press their advantage, still work that vertical, and it works out perfectly for them as they now are at series point 2-1 versus Radford, as well as Plant is going down. Cover from above from Moth. Usually I'd want to put a DMR not on the vertical hold, but it works out. Moth finds a great pick and closes out this series 2-1 for Nova Esports, 7-3, 7-3.
The name of the game was not only adaptation, but also consistency. The definition of what Nova did today. Radford, they had a lot of good rounds in total. Those good rounds resulted in 6 of them being won throughout 2 maps. But it's a situation where if you just have one good round, you have to replicate that. And that's something that Radford was never able to really get down.
Yeah, even when they took a timeout and really changed up a lot of their defense on the first map and it started working out for them, Nova were still able to close it out. Even on this map, when they started to adapt and maybe go for more main takes instead of just, having 2 info operators and pushing the roam when it just didn't work. They adapted, worked out for a little bit, Nova adapted, and then they were still caught completely flat-footed.
Yeah, and again, I talked about how this isn't a do or die situation. It's not an elimination game, but especially going down to 5-2, that is going to hurt Radford. But for Nova, going continuously flawless, now 6-0 in the last week of regular season, I mean, is a phenomenal place to be at. The best you could really be at.
That is it for this stream, and that is it for Rainbow Six, but you got plenty more NECC action. You have Rocket League tomorrow, Overwatch on Friday, and League of Legends on Saturday. That's pretty exciting as well as CS2 next Wednesday, and you'll see our lovely faces back in 2 weeks on this very same stream. Maybe not at the same time, but definitely on the same day.
What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. No, just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach. Hug him up.
He's breathing.
On the other side.
Go.
I can't.
Just-
I can't do it. Help!
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Hey, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah,
Hey, did you get the meat stick?
yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, that's no worries. I got it.
What exactly is plant-based jerky? Call me a meathead, but